A flight attendant downgraded a black CEO to economy. Just 5 minutes later, the airline lost $600 million. Sir, I don't care who you believe you are. This seat is reserved for first-class passengers only. The attendant's tone dripped with disdain as her eyes locked on the sharply dressed black man seated in first class. Around them, passengers shifted uneasily, some whispering, others pretending they hadn't noticed. David Mercer, CEO of one of the fastest-rising tech empires on the planet, clenched his jaw. For more than a decade, he had always flown first class. But today, somehow, his ticket had been mysteriously downgraded, no explanation given, and in 5 short minutes the airline would come to regret it. By the time the aircraft touched the runway, Global United Airlines stock had collapsed. Newsrooms scrambled to break the headline. Tech mogul humiliated mid-flight. Airline loses $600 million overnight. But what exactly had happened? And why would a flight attendant risk so much over one seat? David Mercer wasn't just any executive. He was the billionaire founder of Mercer Innovations, a man who had clawed his way out of poverty to build an empire. He knew prejudice, but he had long since mastered how to rise above it, until today. He had boarded the flight drained, just wanting to rest after finalizing a massive deal. All he wanted was the comfort he'd rightfully earned. Then came the smirk. Maybe next time you should double-check your ticket before assuming, the attendant sneered. Something inside David snapped. Quietly, he pulled out his phone. One text: divest all corporate travel from Global United immediately. Then he opened Twitter. His thumbs hovered for a second. Just one post, that's all it would take. He pressed send. Within minutes, replies flooded in. Shock, outrage, support. Then came retweets from investors with millions of followers. The flight attendant, finally realizing what had just happened, began to panic. The pilot radioed headquarters begging someone to fix this. But it was already too late. David's tweet spread like wildfire. Flying Global United? Don't. Their staff just demoted me to economy because they didn't believe a black man belonged in first class. The hashtag Donner boycott Global United caught fire. The airline's PR machine scrambled. Corporate statements, apologies. The CEO himself phoned David, offering compensation, VIP perks, anything to undo the damage. But David, squeezed into his economy seat, only smirked as he checked the collapsing stock ticker. Too late, he muttered. Then came the call from his own board. David, this is hurting us too. Maybe delete the tweet. For a brief moment, doubt flickered. Had he gone too far? But then he remembered that condescending smirk, the whispers, the silence from the other passengers. No, this was about far more than a seat. When the plane landed, reporters swarmed. The flight attendant, pale and shaken, stumbled through an apology. David turned to the cameras. This isn't about me, he said evenly. It's about every person who's ever been treated as less than. Today, Global United learned that prejudice comes with a price. He walked away as the stock plunged further. 1 week later, Global United rolled out sweeping changes, mandatory bias training, a public apology, and a $10 million diversity program. Back in his office, David received a handwritten letter from the airline's CEO. He dropped it straight into the trash, unopened. Some wounds money can't heal. But $600 million lost, that was a beginning. If this story struck a chord, hit like and type karma in the comments.